Strat-o-matic Delaware, and I have been relearning my board games, and I figured I would show off a couple of the board games that I have. And up first is going to be Tiny Epic Galaxies by Scott Almes. It is a Gamelyn Games game, and it comes in a very small box, a tiny epic box full of tiny epic galaxies. So let's go ahead and see what is inside when you open it up. Of course, it's already been opened up. The inside of the top lid you can use as your dice tray. Kind of handy. You have the rule book. Always good to read the rule book so you learn how to play a game. You can also scan the Q code to watch an instructional video. Of course, if you're watching this, you're already watching an instructional video. You have play tiles. This is the activation bay where you will activate your dice. And we will get to that when we show you how to play. And it comes with 5 galaxy mats in varying colors: black, red, green is right there, yellow, and blue. And there are markers that correspond to those galaxies. Green, yellow, red, blue, and I'm going to be using black to show you guys. These are galaxies, these are empires that you control. You choose one. No, one does not give an advantage over any other, but you will have your empire upgrade track, and we'll show you how to do that. You will have your fleet size track, and when you get to a certain point, your fleet gets bigger, so you have more ships to move around and do more stuff. You have your dice track, and you get more dice the more you upgrade your empire. And then also victory points. As you upgrade your empire, they're worth victory points. You need 21 victory points to cause the end game. The first player to get 21 victory points, everyone else gets one more chance to surpass that. On the backs of all of these cards are, if you wanted to play just 2-player, Rogue Galaxies. And they range from beginner, easy, medium, hard, which is Hades, and then of course you have Gamelyn, the epic rogue galaxy. That is a tiny epic galaxy. So we're going to show you how to play the game. There's a few more pieces you're going to find when you open up. Of course, you're going to have your dice, and the dice have 6 sides, 6 different things you can do with them, and we'll show you that. And then you also are going to have 2 different kinds of cards you're going to play with. You have your planet cards, which you want to colonize these planets and add them to your galaxy. These are the victory points. And you also have secret mission cards, which you can select one of 2 cards you are dealt and try to have this condition at the end of the game, and you get extra bonus points, and nobody knows what your bonus point condition might be. So let us see what we have here. I think we need to go through the dice first and what they do. Let's go ahead and set up our galaxy. Every player setting up, they get 2 ships to start, and you'll see here you're going to start with your empire at this level right here. You get 2 ships, so we're going to put 2 ships in the center of our galaxy mat. We'll set the other 2 ships on the tracker. See the square with the 3 on the ship track? That's when you upgrade to this level of your empire, you're going to get that ship. So you'll have a 3rd ship to run around and get stuff. When you upgrade to, see the square around the 4? When you upgrade to this level, you get your 4th ship. And then you're going to start with 2 energy, which is the little lightning bolt thing, and you're going to start with 1 culture, which is like a Greek or Roman pillar. That is how you set up your galaxy mat to start. Now, we have 6 dice that we can roll, or 6 sides of dice. First is move, 2nd is going to be energy, 3rd is going to be culture, 4th is going to be a stock market sign, that's economic. 5th is going to be like a United Nations sign, that is diplomatic. And 6th is going to be a little snow globe city, that is utilize a colony. What do these do? Well, let us see. You start each game with 4 planets to colonize. Well, no, you start each game with 2 more planets than there are players. So we're going to presume that there's an imaginary person at the table with me. So we have 2 players, so we're going to deal 4 planets. What these planets do is they give you victory points to go along with these victory points, so that way you can have 21 victory points or more to win the game. And the planets have different victory points assigned to them. Naturally, you would want the greater valued planets. They also have other things. They have energy symbols, and they have culture symbols. And your galaxy mat has an energy symbol. They also have orbital tracks. You can either land here and enable, kind of like take your ship and land here and enable the text, the effect that that planet has. Or you can start to colonize it by getting on the orbit track. And then every time you get the symbol for the planet on the orbit track that you are orbiting, you move it forward 1 space until you come all the way around and you're the first person to reach the last space. Then you colonize it and you add it to your empire. Let us go over what the dice do, and then we'll do a couple of sample turns so you can see how things might shake up. First, let's go over the dice. First you have move, which is a little rocket ship doodad. That allows you to move from your galaxy mat and land on a planet, or to orbit a planet, or leave orbit and land on another planet, leave orbit and orbit another planet, leave and come back to the galaxy map. You cannot move from orbit to landing on the same planet in the same die. You have to leave the planet in order to come back and change locations. You cannot have a ship in orbit and a ship landed on the same planet. Only one at each planet. And it can only either be orbiting or landed. That is what the move die does. Next we have energy. These 2 allow you to harvest resources. Energy, anywhere you have the energy symbol, you're going to count how many ships you have there, and you gain 1 energy for each ship where there's an energy symbol. So here there's 1, 2 ships, so you're going to go 1, 2 and increase your energy. You're going to harvest energy. So let's say you have moved up here. Well, now you have 1 where there is an energy symbol, so you actually only get 1 energy. However, if you activate a culture die, then anywhere where you have a ship present where there is culture, then you increase your culture for each ship there is there. So it was culture and there's 1 ship there, increase culture from 1 to 2. What do energy and culture do? Energy and culture, first of all, you can spend energy or culture to upgrade your empire. And the amount you spend is the number on the next space, the next hex space, and that's a hex-shaped piece. So that way you'd be able to better keep track of what you got, and it has a star in it. So the next space is worth 2. So in order to upgrade my empire, I would have to spend 2 culture or 2 energy. Also, energy allows you to re-roll. You get 1 free re-roll during your turn of any amount of dice that have been unused. You can re-roll all of however many for free. If you have re-rolled already and you're not happy with it, you can spend 1 energy in order to re-roll again. Following is pretty neat. and we will show you following in just a bit. But culture allows you to follow. Basically what it is, if an opponent makes a move and you want to make the same kind of move based on the die that they used, you can follow them. Let's say they activated their energy die and they want to harvest energy. You can spend a culture to follow their move and harvest energy yourself on their turn. You don't have to wait for your turn to do that. Let's say they performed a move and they landed on a planet. Well, you can follow their move by spending a culture. You have one culture left. You don't have to move to that planet. You can move your ship any legal move. Move it here to land it, move it here to orbit it. You can move your ship from here back to your galaxy mat. As long as you're doing a move, you can follow that. That is how following works. The next two dice are orbital dice. If you're colonizing a planet, you will see this is economic. So this planet has an economic orbiting track. This one is called diplomatic. This planet has a diplomatic orbiting track. Get my finger out of the way so it'll focus better. And anytime you have one of these dice, like say this guy right here, then you are able to have a ship that you have in orbit on an economic orbiting track and spend that die and move one space around. If you have the diplomatic die right here, you can spend that die and you can move this ship one space around because it is on a diplomatic orbiting track. The last kind of die is utilize a colony. What utilize a colony does, it allows you to utilize the text of your home galaxy or any other planet that you have colonized, which you will collect down here. So let's say you have colonized this planet right here and you get utilizing a colony as one of the face up on your dice. You can utilize that, advance a ship +1. So you would spend your utilizing a colony die. We'll show you how to do that, and advance a ship +1. If you have this colonized, if it is part of your empire. Let us go ahead and do a short, one more thing. Upgrading your empire. Said I was going to show you that. You can upgrade your empire with utilizing a colony die. You are going to spend this and use the text on your galaxy, on your empire. And the next one up is 2. And you can spend either energy or culture, not a combination of both. We have 3 energy. We're going to mark that down to 1. Now we are going to upgrade our colony to the next level. We don't gain any more ships, but now we go from 4 dice to 5, so we get more actions, and we also have a victory point for our empire. So let's go ahead and reset this. Maybe set up a second so that way you can see some verses going, perhaps. Give me just a moment. I didn't think I was going to do a second galaxy, but I think I am going to do a second galaxy. So now I have to set it down for just a moment while I get out the red pieces. Give me 15 seconds. I'm still here. Don't be scared. I know it's dark. Don't be frightened. It'll be okay, I promise. Maybe more than 15 seconds, but not much. I'm almost ready. Don't be scared. I'm still here. It's okay. I know the melodic sound of my voice is comforting, but maybe not comforting enough. Don't run away. Look, see, it's okay. There's, another galaxy. Well, that's a good thing. Okay, let's show you guys how to actually play a couple of rounds of this game. So, we've got our other galaxies here, and anytime a galaxy is colonized and added to somebody's empire, we simply flip over another planet. I'm sorry, rather, a planet. So let us go ahead and do this. Both start on equal footing, really. So we have our activation bay, we'll put it right there. And we'll have our dice tray right there. So let's go ahead and do this. Black will go first, and as you can see, black, their empire is starting here. They have 2 ships in their fleet on the galaxy mat to start. They have 4 dice that they can roll. They also have 1 culture and 2 energy. Same over here. 2 ships on their galaxy map, 1 culture, 2 energy. They get 2 ships and 4 dice to roll. So everyone starts on equal footing. So we'll go black first. Game comes with 7 dice because 7 is the most you can roll. Take 4 dice, roll them. So what do we have here? We have 1 move. We have 2 moves. We have utilize a colony. And we have energy. Well, right from the word jump, I'm thinking since we have 2 ships in our home galaxy, and that's energy, let's harvest energy. So you take the first die, put it there on the activation bay. So that way it's been activated, it's been used. And we will take 2 more energy, up to 4. Secondly, we need to get out there and start colonizing some planets. So let's do a move. Activate the move die by putting it on the activation bay. And let's go ahead and move this guy. Oh, let's move him up here to Jack 110, 912. All of them are named. It's cool. This one is Shahua, this is Umbra Forum, and this is Tifnod. The Black Galaxy. They are the Black Scourge Empire. The Red Galaxy, we'll call them the Candyland Empire because they look like the red in candy canes, maybe. I don't know. Okay. So we have activated 2 of the 4 dice we have rolled. We're going to activate a 3rd. We are going to utilize a colony by putting it right there in the activation bay. And we can use the text here because we don't have any other planets added to our empire yet. So we're going to upgrade our empire by spending either energy or culture. The next one is 2. So let's spend 2 energy, down from 4 to 2, and upgrade our empire. Now we have an extra victory point right there. We have 1 die left, but I've got 1 on culture, 1 on energy. I really would like to get either a head start moving him around or maybe some more energy or culture. Let's see what we can do. Let's go ahead and roll the die. Get a free reroll. That is diplomatic. Well, that is an economic orbit track around that planet. That one is diplomatic. I'm going to spend an energy and re-roll. So it's 1 each there. Let's re-roll this dice. Diplomatic again. I can spend an energy and re-roll it again. I want to do that because I want to show you something else. Utilize a colony. Well, we don't have enough to utilize the colony here. Now, in order to follow an action, someone has to actually use the die. He can't use the die, so red cannot follow the action. I meant to show you following actions, but I'll remember to do that during red's turn. So, no energy for re-rolls. That's the end of it for black's first turn. So now it is red's turn. So black has upgraded their empire from the starting position to the second position, and they have begun to orbit around a planet to colonize it and get 5 victory points for that one. So now it is red's turn. They're in the first empire position. They have 2 ships in their fleet. They have 4 dice. This is the dice track right there. They have 2 energy and 1 culture. 4 dice. Let's go ahead and roll them. It's not horrible, perhaps. We have move. And you can move them out of here, and it might be easier to do that. So let's just do that. We have move, culture, and 2 economic orbit tracks. Well, with the economic orbit tracks, that actually works pretty good. We're going to do that. So we are going to go ahead and activate the move dice. And we're going to go ahead and fly our little Candyland ship over to Tifnod and start to go around the orbit to colonize it. Now that is an economic orbit track. And you'll notice we have 2 dice with the economic orbit track symbol facing up. So let's activate 1. And let's move 1 space around the orbit track. Let's activate the other one and move 1 more space around the orbit track, and you'll see we have reached the last space. This has now been colonized by the red galaxy, the Candyland Empire. So the ship goes back to the galaxy map, and sorry, I gotta put it down because this is really a two-handed thing on this smooth table with these smooth cards. Come on, get underneath there somewhere. I know you can. I know you want to. Come on. There. Come on, almost had it. There we go, you're under it. So you're going to place any colonized planets underneath your galaxy map, just like that. Now, whenever you get a utilize colony die, you can either upgrade your empire, or in this instance, they can regress in 1 enemy ship by, and it specifies diplomatic as far as orbiting. So if black had a ship here, excuse me, they could utilize their colony to move them backwards 1 space on the orbit track. So we have done that. We have colonized a planet, so let's add another planet. And this one is an energy resource planet worth 7 victory points with an economic orbit track. Well, we have 1 more die left for the red galaxy, and it's culture. We're going to go ahead and we don't have anybody at culture. We're going to re-roll that for free because everybody is at energy. We don't have anyone at culture, so we're going to re-roll that for free. We get to. Comes up culture again. They've got 2 energy. They're going to hold on to what they have, so they're going to call it a turn. Dropped it. Glad I have extra. Alright. So now it is black's turn, and they are going to roll. Now, they have upgraded their empire. So now, they still only have 2 ships in their fleet, but now they get to roll 5 dice. There are 5 dice. Let's go ahead and roll them. And you'll see we have 1 move. We have an energy. We have 2 culture. And we have 1 utilize a colony. So there are the dice for black this turn. Well, we have 1 ship is on our galaxy mat, and that harvests energy. And we probably want some energy. Of course, we can get culture and upgrade our empire again, because we have 2 culture dice. 1, 2. We have 1 ship in a system that can yield culture should you harvest it. So that would be 1 for that ship for 1 die, and 1 for the other die. So that would give us 2 culture. Along with our 1 would be a total of 3. Alright. I'm thinking rather let's move over here. So we'll use our rocket ship. We'll activate our rocket ship. Activate our move die, and we're going to go into orbit right over here. Now we have 2 ships at planets that yield culture. So for each culture die we activate, boom, we get 2 culture for each ship. 1, 2. And then if we activate again, we get 2 more culture. 1, 2. So now we have 5 culture. We have utilize a colony, so we can upgrade our empire yet again. The next space is 3. So we are going to spend either energy or culture, not a combination. It has to be all one or all the other. So since the next space is 3, we'll spend 3 culture from 5, 4, 3, 2. And now we upgrade to number 3, and though it's still only 5 dice, it's 1 more victory point, and we get to add our 3rd ship to our fleet. Boom. That's how you add a ship to your fleet. That's when you add a ship to your fleet. The last one we have left is energy, and even though we have 1 energy right there, I think we can do better. So we're going to go ahead and roll. We get utilize a colony again. Well, we cannot upgrade because we don't have enough money. We don't have any energy, so we cannot re-roll by spending an energy. So that's going to be the end of our turn. So now we go back over to red. Now red is still down here, so they still have 2 ships and they still have only 4 dice at their disposal. But they have harvested, they have colonized a planet. So let's roll the 4 dice and see what we get. Okay. We have 3 moves and utilize a colony. Isn't that sweet? So we have move, 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 and utilize a colony. Okay. We are going to use a move. No? Yeah. I'm going to use a move. Activate one of the move dice. And we are going to fly over. And we're going to... let's see. We are going to land on this planet right here. We're not going to orbit. We're going to land on the planet. When you land on the planet, you get to activate its text. Repeat the action on an already activated die. Well, we activated move. So let's go ahead and repeat the action. Now, we don't have to land on a planet. We can orbit a planet. Let's go ahead and have some competition. We will begin to orbit this planet as well. Now, since black has culture, culture allows you to follow, and this is how you follow. We are following a move action. So in order to follow, it costs 1 culture, spend a culture, and now black can move on this turn as well. And black is going to... thinking black is going to go for the diplomatic approach for a change. So they have decided to begin to orbit that planet. Now we go back to red. And they have 3 dice remaining. Now we could re-roll these for free, but I want to show you one more thing. And this is a last ditch thing. You don't want to do this on a regular basis because you're using 3 dice. The converter. Place 2 dice of any type here, and any 2 unactivated dice, and take a 3rd unactivated die and make it anything you want it to be. Anything. So let's say that we want to, let's say this was actually something else. So it's culture instead. We really want to upgrade our empire. So we're going to put these 2 in the converter and take the 3rd one that we haven't activated and change it into utilize a colony. Activate that die. And now, 2, we can spend 2 energy, 1, 2, and we can upgrade our empire. That is how you use the converter. And that is how you play the game. You go around, you keep on going, and we're at almost the 30-minute mark, so we're going to call this a tutorial, but I'll probably keep playing the game just to show you how it's done. I'll finish this game out. So we'll call that that. This is Chris, strat-o-matic, Delaware. Tiny Epic Galaxies. Fantastic game, really inexpensive, worth picking up in my opinion. It's fun, it's great, it's a tiny little game in a tiny little box, and it's epic. Guys, Chris, strat-o-matic, Delaware, thanks for watching. Keep on rolling. Sorry about the sinuses, I'm kind of froggy. Okay, so we're going to take back that last move because I would not have done that. So red is going to go back there, it gets back to 2. We are going to re-roll all 3 of these dice right here for free. So we get culture, energy, and utilize a colony. Those are the 3 dice we have right now with the free re-roll. Yeah, I just figured I'd keep playing and show you guys the conclusion of a game. So that's what red has to deal with. Red is going to look at their planets. You've got 1 ship at a culture planet and 1 ship in an energy planet. You have 2 energy. Utilize a colony. We're going to utilize a colony. We're going to spend our energy. And we are going to bump this up so we get an extra die on the next turn. And we are going to do energy. So we get 1 energy for that guy right there. So let's activate our